Jeff's side of this matchup, he seems like he's gunning for creature decks, and this is, you know, probably the creature deck.
Yeah, I mean, really cool list for Jeff here. Now, yeah, I mean, against creature decks, Jeff is just so well positioned. Just everything you could ever want.
Well, his deck's mostly kill spells, and then his creatures rebuy kill spells.
Yeah, and his cards like Batterskull just...
Well, his Batterskull on the other side of the table, too, so maybe...
That's true, but Jeff's Batterskull is way better than
definitely
Steve's Batterskulls. And 3 Despise in Jeff's deck.
Well, we talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
You're still not the big fan of Despise.
I do not think Despise is a very good card.
No, but now I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Look at Steve's deck. It has over 20 creatures in it. How could Despise be a bad card?
Yeah, I mean, against Steve's deck, Despise is a perfectly fine spell.
Jeff leads out on Forest. Steve on... I think we have our sides switched. Steven's on the left. Jeff's on the right. So Steven's gonna lead off on Forest, then Forest into Zenith for a mana creature. Not really the start I like out of red-green aggro, because you played turn two turns and you don't really have a threat yet. You have a Birds of Paradise to show for it. You're backwards, followed up by, Woodland Cemetery, and then Evolving Wilds, I believe, right?
Yeah, so he's able to Tragic Slip that Bird's Paradise, slow down Steven's development, and,
right.
You know, perhaps Steven doesn't have red, and, you know, even if he has one mountain or one red source, he's still going to be unable to play Phoenix this turn, which he would have otherwise been able to play.
He does have red. We'll just go for Sword of War and Peace. Still no threats on his side.
Yeah. And Sword of War and Peace is surprisingly weak against Jeff's deck. I think he just has tons of removal spells, and
it's
all
not
of
a
them.
threat.
Yeah. All right, so
Steven looks to, all right, and he will, that is Despise, right?
yes, it is.
So we see Hellrider, Metamorph, Huntmaster of the Fells, and Kessig Wolfrun. All pretty scary. I think the scariest one is Huntmaster of the Fells, probably for his deck. Hellrider really doesn't have any buddies here, so... And also he doesn't have double, he also doesn't have double red.
You know, if he has another land for his turn, and he also has Black Sun Zenith in hand, he may just let Steve keep the Huntmaster and tap out for it next turn so that he can... Oh, no, so he's just got spot removal spells.
Anything here, you know? His hand is Metamorph Hellrider. I mean, he will draw the mountain when he does, he'll be able to cast stuff, but...
But Jeff did miss a third land drop, which is...
That's very relevant. Okay, I missed that part.
However, I mean, Steve can't do anything, so...
Jeff's got to be in a situation where if he can draw lands, he should be fine. He just has to buy time until he can do that. Tap 2 and Ratchet Bomb. That's Ratchet Bomb's gonna be pretty slow here, and not much in Steve's hand that's very good against. So. And that's card on the table. Yeah, okay, that's his draw for the turn. And he has Copperline Gorge, so he has a second red, but it's not going to come into play untapped.
So next turn, he will be able to play Hellrider and equip the sword. So Jeff's going to have to leave open mana for a removal spell.
Right. At least I believe it's Copperline Gorge. I could be wrong. He's going to Metamorph the sword or Metamorph the Ratchet? Metamorph the sword? I don't really like that play. You need everything to be a threat, and that's not a threat. And it seems to me like Steven's getting pretty antsy, you know. He feels like Jeff's on the back foot, but he can't capitalize on it. So he's like, I gotta play stuff, you know. I gotta stay ahead, but you're fine. I mean, what you need is a second threat. I think Metamorph, though, decidedly weak in the matchup, even though it deals with Glissa.
It is a removal spell for Glissa. And there's quite a lot to be said for that, because Glissa is so strong.
Glissa is double black or double green? She's green, green, black, correct?
I think she's double green.
Okay, so he cannot cast.
Well, Metamorph is Ratchet Bomb.
That's fine. I guess that does effectively stop Jeff's Ratchet Bomb from getting up to 4. Right, here's Hellrider. I can't imagine this is going to work.
Yeah, I highly, highly doubt that.
Jeff kept his hand based on something. You know, foresee a mana leak.
Go for the throat. Yeah, Jeff has a go for the throat.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Go for the throat. Before attacks, presumably. Yeah, he's saying before attacks, so he doesn't take the damage. I think this is where I don't like the metamorph. Even on Ratchet Bomb, I just want it to be another creature. I think if a creature sticks, Steven's in a great position. Alright, just gonna tap out now for Liliana. Let's get that last card of yours. It was a
Brimstone Volley.
Alright. And you'll discard a Beast Within? No, it's a Glissa, isn't it? Oh, that's a Glissa.
I do not know what that is.
I think it's a Glissa. It looks like it has a gold border.
Okay.
We'll say it's a Glissa.
Sounds good to me.
Steven draw. I mean, he just loved to draw a Huntmaster right now. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be the bee's knees.
Good time for that card. I don't think he's drawn it though. He's kind of in the tank. This game could get away from him pretty quickly. 5 mana. Is it? We're gonna see. He does have Batterskull. He also. All right, that's gonna be the Batterskull.
That's pretty good.
Just gonna have to Edict it, and then because the defensive Ratchet Bomb means he can't ratchet up to 5, which is pretty good. I mean, destroying Ratchet Bomb. Liliana is interesting. Trying to destroy Batterskull with it's like almost possible.
Well, if he has a removal spell, then I mean it's weird because he has to get him to discard the.
Yeah, but he can't really do that.
Sometime. The timing on it's so bad.
Yeah. I think he should. Was it? Jeff still has plays. I think to get around it. I mean,
he has Beast Within. He has, you know.
He can mana leak it on its way back down if he ever draws a mana leak.
Yeah, Glissa kind of just blanks it also.
That's true. So there's plenty of outs he has to it. Probably will still be able to main control despite the Batterskull. At this point, he might just, you know, Edict away. I think he probably will just, yeah, Edict the Germ.
Yeah, that seems perfectly reasonable.
Debating Liliana, yeah. Oh, Liliana's just going to keep going up. He's going to discard his own Batterskull.
Interesting.
Seems like he wants to ultimate the Liliana. Ratchet Bomb cracks on 2, getting Ratchet Bomb. Play another Ratchet Bomb. I don't see his game.
Yeah, I don't know why you're taking up Liliana when you have cards and your opponent doesn't.
And then
then like having to use cards to deal with their board when you could just.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by his play at the moment. Especially since the Batterskull can eat Liliana.
Yep.
And, okay, he's gonna use the Ratchet Bomb to get rid of the Germ.
Yep. But I mean, now you just use another card to do that instead of.
Another sort of one piece for Ratcliff.
And he'll be able to return this Batterskull.
Yep, it may be possible that Jeff's going to try to just ultimate the Liliana. He's still searching for that second green for his deck's namesake. It looks like Liliana's going up, discarding another card. He's discarding a black. I guess Black Sun's not really a card right now.
Yeah,
so
Black Sun's pretty dead.
Returns Batterskull to his hand. Steven Ratcliff draws a card. Maybe if Jeff's drawn Mana Leak, he should be fine here.
Yeah.
The Batterskull was resolved in a turn where Jeff was tapped out, so it's possible that he just didn't have the opportunity to Mana Leak, but does have it. It's going to read Liliana. So Liliana has upped 3 times, which means she's ready to go lethal, right?
Yes.
I'm going to go for Batterskull. Is there a Mana Leak? No, there's not. Alright, so Jeff's going to get to ultimate the Liliana here. I mean, the good news is if he puts the Batterskull in a pile away from lands, he effectively denies the Batterskull for Steven.
Mm-hmm.
see, so you can have... Okay, the germ and the Batterskull are going to be separated. That's probably correct. 3 lands, 3 lands, 4 lands. Steven will almost certainly take the pile with the Batterskull. I almost would put one more land in the other one.
I would definitely put one more land in the other pile. Leaving him with 5 lands and a sword, as opposed to leaving him with 3 lands, a sword, and a Batterskull is a pretty big difference.
Right, because then Jeff Stevens only 2 lands away from restarting Batterskull games all over again. And Stevens, I think, Stevens going to choose to keep that.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, he's going to bin that pile.
Oh, wow.
Well, I would have. All right.
I would have definitely taken...
So it turns out Jeff's play ends up working out even better.
Yeah,
I guess Steven 1 Stranglegeist away from, pretty good hand. Daybreak Ranger. Have to think Jeff's sitting on some removal spells of some sort.
I mean, discarded that Black Sun Zenith.
And there's the second green. All right, we will get Glissa the Trader.
Yep. And,
remember, if Daybreak Ranger fights Glissa the Trader, they will trade, because First Strike won't actually... Doesn't happen when you use the fight keyword. It's just as only when creatures fight in combat that First Strike happens.
the nice thing about Death Touch also is...
Alright, so Daybreak Ranger's going to flip.
Surprised Jeff didn't have any sort of Spiral Removal spell there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Jeff does have. Steven in no rush really to off the Glissa. Even if they trade, Jeff will get a Ratchet Bomb back. So...
Well, he'll get a Batterskull back.
Oh right, he discarded a Batterskull. He'll probably get a Batterskull back.
Yeah.
That is Pertunian. Is there a promo? Is that Strangleroot?
Yeah.
Is that an altered Strangleroot Geist?
He's attacking with both? It's a little odd.
I don't like that play at all.
I don't like
Glissa
that
has
play
First Strike and Death Touch. He's going to Beast within the Daybreak Ranger. Getting back. Okay, and here's where Jeff's deck just goes out. Goes nutty.
Yeah.
Beast in the Daybreak.
It does not have that sword attached to it anymore, buddy.
No, sword is off it. There you go. Jeff points that out. He's like, no, there's no longer a sword on it. And he gets back... Did he get back 2 artifacts?
Yeah, he got back Batterskull and Ratchet Bomb.
That seems very solid. It's what his deck's trying to do. Ratchet Bomb again. Ratchet Bomb can get itself back here.
Yep.
Yep, that's what he's saying. Token's dead. I'll take my Ratchet Bomb back. Ratchet Bomb. Go.
Yeah,
so,
this is pretty sweet.
Pretty
Glissa
awesome.
the Trader.
Yeah, remember both these guys 2 matches away from top 8. They're both undefeated after 5 rounds, 9-round tournament. There are 8 players left in the undefeated bracket. So he's going to crack an Evolving Wilds. What Steven is looking for to get himself out of this situation, I mean, is pretty grim. You know, Huntmaster's not an answer. Huntmaster's actually really bad because Jeff will pass the turn, Ratchet Bomb both of them, and get back 2 artifacts. He could Chandra's Phoenix his way out of this. Chandra's Phoenix with sword, presuming Jeff doesn't have a kill spell, which is a pretty big presumption.
At this point, it's not looking too safe. And that's a Wormcoil engine.
All right, Wormcoil's down.
Wormcoil engine, historically good against red-green aggro decks. Jeff Hoogland playing an innovative Glissa the Trader deck here at 5-0 in this tournament that was overwhelmingly Delver. And now he is looking to be up a game in this 6th round against red-green aggro.
Yeah. Red-green aggro seems to be is performing pretty well today. We don't have too much Delver at the top tables. There's a lot of Delver being played. I would say proportionally there's not much Delver. There probably still is Delver because there's so many people playing it. Everybody seems to sleeve it up. But I think, I'm going to go ahead and say I think it might not have been the best choice for this tournament. It's not Cobblade where it can say, you know, it can't sit back and say, just try to beat me and take it all. You know, I think, I mean, it comes close, but I think we're seeing today that maybe it's still beatable when you're trying.
Yeah, I mean, Gliss the Trader. This is
excellent. I'm really excited
exciting.
about this deck. Yeah. Steven looking
good.
bored.
I would look bored too at this point.
Well, the deck has to be metaed. I remember that, you know, even in block constructed, this is almost all Scars block cards. Remember, this deck was not a player in block constructed, which means, but it's a block deck. So I think it's probably lacking a lot on the power level, but its positioning is probably pretty good right now, especially with all the tokens that are around. These all these Ratchet Bombs are pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, Liliana the Veil and Garruk Relentless definitely do give the deck an angle that it did not have prior.
I think in particular Liliana helps it. Jeff cracks Evolving Wilds, still building up his mana base. Steven did draw the Chandra's Phoenix, but the Wormcoil engine is just too much, I think, for Steven to overcome. In his deck, he does not. He has one Acidic Slime, which we have not already used. Jeff trying to swing for lethal.
Steven's definitely going to chump the Wormcoil. Go to 6. Jeff will go right back up to 25 here.
And get another Ratchet Bomb.
Turn a Ratchet Bomb from his graveyard to his hand.
Keep in mind, this is all working Glissa. Whenever one of your opponent's creatures dies, you may bring an artifact from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I remember thinking that in block especially, that the one scary thing is the best answer to a Glissa is a Phyrexian Metamorph. You cast the Metamorph, you Legend Rule the Glissa, then you get your Metamorph back.
Yep.
Which Steven does have in his deck, so, you know, it's not like he's without game against Glissa. So again, I like Steven still just plugging away.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get there.
Casts Huntmaster. Remember, see if Jeff sees the trick involved with Huntmaster here, is that if Jeff just passes the turn, lets them both flip, and then cracks a Ratchet Bomb, he will get both halves of the Huntmaster.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know how much it matters.
No, as long as he's gaining 6 off the Wormcoil every turn,
it's
unraceable.
There's not really a bad play he can make.
Not attacking with Wormcoil would be a bad play.
That is true. That would be a bad play.
All right. Well, we're just going to go for the kill. Zenith for 2. That's, like, pretty aggressive. I don't even know if I'd do that.
I would not do that.
I mean, still not a bad play to be made. He's fine. But no, I don't want to shrink my gain 6 a turn to gain 4 per turn.
So now taking 5, going to 1. Steven at 1 now.
Plays a 3rd Ratchet Bomb.
Nice.
Okay, there we go.
Yes. That is the spot where you are supposed to concede. Wormcoil Engine.
Wormcoil Engine, that's beatable. We're going to race that. Get in there, Chandra's Phoenix.
Jeff, stuck on 2 lands for a while there, was able to overcome that. Liliana of the Veil ultimated against Steven Ratcliff, and, you know, just Gliss's power, the card advantage that enabled for Jeff. So just too much to overcome.
Yeah, Jeff's deck's pretty exciting. What does he have on the sideboard? I'm expecting really big. His deck's cool enough, and I'm expecting a really cool sideboard. So
his sideboard does have a Life's Finale. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty neat. You've seen that in some control decks, actually.
It's weird. His sideboard has a lot of cards that are good against creature decks, when his main deck seems like it's insane against creature decks. He's 3 Curse of Death's Holds, 1 Black Sun Zenith, 1 Doomblade, 1 Beast Within, 3 Negate, 1 Ratchet Bomb, 1 Sylphawk Replica, a Nihil Spellbomb, a Batterskull, and a Thrun.
I'm not sure. A lot of those are just like extras of cards that are in his main deck, which to me kind of rings of, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be boarding.
Well, maybe it's also just that, like, well, these cards are best in these matchups. These cards are best in these matchups.
It's like he has a lot of 3-ofs and the 4th copies in his board. You know, he has a 4th Ratchet Bomb, a 3rd Nile Spell Bomb, a 2nd Sylvok Replica,
I mean, you want the 2nd Sylvok Replica. You probably want the 3rd Nile Spell Bomb. 4th Ratchet Bomb is a little aggressive.
A 2nd Batter Skull.
A little aggressive.
2nd Beast Within. Just like,
I don't like the Beast Within at all.
I'm not. I mean, if he's playing against Planeswalkers, it probably comes in. There seems like just like a lot of changing of removal spells for the most part in the board. It's neat. I mean, sometimes when your main deck's really tuned, you don't, that it's just slight shifts. It's hard. It just seems like they're all very low impact sideboard cards, is what I would say.
Yeah.
On the other side,
that's a good description.
We have another Metamorph on the board, which I have to think comes in. Yes, he's not playing Ancient Grudge. He has 3 Naturalize instead. I don't.
Why?
Well, Oblivion Ring exists, I suppose.
That's true.
Against token decks, you have to be aware of their enchantment. The red-green aggro deck is pretty well positioned against token decks, provided the token deck does not resolve 2 Anthems, in which case the matchup is very, very, very difficult, because all your damage spells deal 2. So Naturalize might be a concession to the fact that you need to eliminate their 2nd Anthem.
Ancient Grudge is so good in the matchups where it's good.
That's true. I mean, you have to acknowledge you're downgrading a lot.
Yeah. Maybe 1 Naturalize, 2 Ancient Grudge.
Sure.
Like, it's fine to make the argument, like, I wanted to have an out to the enchantment, but Ancient Grudge is just one of the best sideboard cards available in any format.
It's probably the most efficient artifact blower-upper. Next to maybe Shattering Spree is pretty good at that too, I guess.
Ancient Grudge, better than Shattering Spree in most.
Unless you're playing a deck with Seething Song, sometimes there's an argument then to be like, those decks, like all in red,
Oh, yeah, and I mean, if you're playing like mono red or
Seething Song,
red-white,
Seething Song's 5x Spree. But, I mean, yeah, it's one of the best hate cards printed, so.
What an awesome card. Yeah, they don't print sideboard cards that are really that strong anymore.
They don't print hosers like they used to. That's just a true statement,
But that's actually
where's Boil anymore?
Yeah, like there's no more Boil. There's no more,
Cop
Perish,
Red
or like Cop Red,
Gloom.
Like,
there's a bunch of these cards. Like,
yeah, the cards that just like completely destroy people.
Yeah.
But Ancient Grudge is almost on on that level. Like,
it's a step below. It's not Gloom, for example. Like Gloom against your white weenie deck makes you lose. I play it on turn 2, all your, but yeah, it's close. Choke. Stuff like
Choke. That's a good one.
I mean, it's probably for the better. If people remember when Urza drafts are back on Moto, we all got to have the experience of what it was like to play against Absolute Law when you were a red deck. You got to revisit that, which is like not fun at all.
No, not even remotely.
Gives all your creatures protection from red. Alright, so land for Steven, then land for Jeff. Land bird for Steven. Jeff's mana base forced into Darkslick Shore, and he's going to Tragic Slip the bird.
Yep, and again, Tragic Slip that bird, slowing down Steve, preventing a turn 3 Huntmaster of the Fells or Hell Rider.
Right, probably tells me that Jeff's not on does not have a mana leak, is what I'm reading. What I would read off that. Sort of Feast and Famine for Steven this time. Much better colored sword than the one he was playing last game.
Yes, significantly better sword this time around.
Jeff's going to probably have to answer that. Jeff, green, Darkslick Shore, I feel like he might have his namesake. He's just going to say go instead. Interesting.
So
it's
I
a little
believe
bit
he has
a counterspell.
Mana Leak and Glissa.
And maybe Forbidden Alchemy as well.
Mana Leak, Glissa, and no Liliana. Or
Correct.
no second black for Liliana.
Yeah, and Sep he's going to Forbidden Alchemy. There's a Garrick in there. We'll see what he chooses. I can't see all the cards. We'll see it in a second. He's going to bin some artifact. No, Woodland Cemetery. And a couple other cards. I'm not positive on that. Go up to 4 mana, play Garruk Relentless.
Make a wolf. I mean, now he's pretty open to just getting Stranglegeisted.
Geist Sword is very, yeah, he's got to really watch out for that. Sort of Feast and Famine. It seems like a large. I mean, Gliss. Obviously, he's a black-green deck. Sort of Feast and Famine does seem very strong. I know. We may try to make insightful plays here on SCG Live. He pinged the Garruk to flip it, and then Chandra's Phoenix to kill it.
Okay.
I like it. Remember, now he has the interaction. He has a Geist Flame in his graveyard, killing Chandra's Phoenix. Only a temporary solution.
And then that's another hasty guy to put that sword on, and it makes it really hard for Jeff to tap out at like any stage of the game. So.
Right. He can, you're facing plays like End Step, Geist Flame, you untap, Chandra's Phoenix, Equip, hit you.
The Chandra's Phoenix is a card Jeff Hoogland probably not expecting to face in these red-green matchups. A card that gives him quite a lot of problems. Oh wow.
So we have, all right. So Glissa comes out for Jeff. He's going to have to try to control, only with one blue up. If the sword gets on a creature, what can Jeff do? He has Ratchet Bomb.
He also has Liliana.
Okay, Liliana's a great answer, I think. And it appears that Stephen Ratcliff has sided in his run Red Sun Zenith I just saw in his hand. So can we discuss that over Devil's Play? I mean, red. Okay, triple red is very ambitious for his deck. For his mana base, I would say it does not come up very often.
But shuffling it back in to draw it later doesn't seem like it really matters at all either. I kind of thought that Red Sun Zenith had seen its last days when they printed Devil's Play.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I'd say is in the most controlling of control decks, I might prefer a Zenith. In the sense of, I'll just draw it a lot and take my time. But other than that, I probably, instead of hoping I draw it again, how about I just draw it again by flashing it back?
Yeah.
All right. Glissa gets killed. All right, and we have Zenith, and it shuffles Zenith from Jeff. The problem is that sword just makes every creature a must-kill.
Yep.
Remember, Phoenix will come back also. The Geist Flame is still in the yard. And Steven Hellrider taking 4, putting Jeff down to 12.
I believe Jeff's lower than 12, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah, we're working
Maybe
on life
not.
totals here. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Liliana, all right. Edict it. Remember, there is a Geist Flame in Steven's yard. I imagine we'll see it. Now, if you Geist Flame and you redirect it to Liliana, Chandra's Phoenix does not come back, correct?
Correct.
So, decision for him, actually a pretty relevant one.
Then now Spellbomb.
I actually, oh no, he didn't have a third black. I was going to say, I would have cracked the Spellbomb right there, but doesn't have the option.
No, it does not.
So if you're Steven, do you buy back your Phoenix here? You probably can't buy back your Phoenix because he'll Spellbomb you anyway. Do you kill the Liliana? I think so. I don't know. I don't know his hand. It depends how good your threat is, but I think that's a play you want to consider for sure. Debating. Steven has 2 cards. We don't know either of them yet. He's going to tap 5 for Zenithing for 4. That'll be for another Huntmaster of the Fells. That's
Hellrider.
pretty good too. You can't Zenith for Hellrider though.
Oh yeah, it's not green.
Yeah. Otherwise, that'd actually be very good. I wouldn't mind, attacking. Well, it would trade with
Then
Perilous
you would
Mirror.
definitely play it.
Yeah. If you could Zenith for Hellrider, I think it would be an auto-include in red. I would be okay playing it. I think when I was talking about me not liking Hellrider in red-green, the double red is part of that. It's not just that it's a 4-drop. It's that it's a 4-drop that you sometimes can't play. Like if you look at Steven's mana base here, he has just 2 red, but he didn't have 2 red right away. And it'll eat a Doomblade. Then both players will discard. Great draw by Jeff. I think, I will say I thought he was losing this game. I believe
So did I.
I don't think that anymore.
I don't either.
Though with Kasig Wolfrun, it's still possible that he's Wolfrun plus Sword of Feast and Famine, quite
That was
strong.
odd that he, yeah, okay.
No, that's good because if he can trample it, so he'll get an untap.
Yeah. Let's untap all his lands. He doesn't have any cards in hand to make it matter, but...
Perilous Mirror, I don't like that block there at all. I don't see why you'd make that block. You want to wait until it's actually a lethal block. So still going to trample over. Deal damage to Liliana. He won't get an untap. But yeah. Alright, maybe I spoke too soon when I said Jeff had pulled back into this game. Little Spell Bomb, Steven's Graveyard, getting rid of a Geist Flame and a Chandra's Phoenix, so pretty worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, that's exciting. Apparently, guys, we have some Avacyn Restored spoilers for you guys
So...
to announce on here. Yeah, and now Jeff getting all right, and another swing from this wolf. Jeff can't seem to find an answer to this. I mean, it's got protection from green and black.
I think we're learning that the sword is really
good
against Jeff. Let's remind there's 2 in the sideboard. So now Steven will have 2 Sword of Feast and Famines in his deck. And it seems good enough at this point with Jeff that in Jeff's situation, I almost feel like you grab Ratchet Bomb and the moment you play it, you start ticking it to 3. And I'm not even exaggerating there, that sometimes when you're really... It's one of the cool parts about the versatility of Ratchet Bomb, but also when a card's that good against you, you have to start preemptively answering it with a Ratchet Bomb. Mm-hmm. And at least this game is convincing me that I think it's strong enough where that's what you do. Chandra's Phoenix, bringing it back again. Phoenix swings in, puts him at 1, untaps lands.
And now he's got another protection from black, protection from green guy.
Every creature will be lethal for Steve. Lethal now. He has Kasig Wolfrun, so blockers won't even do too much. I don't... This seems poor.
Whoa!
Forbidden Alchemy, looking for...
Well, he found a Liliana.
Alright. Still alive. So Jeff will also probably...
Stabilizing at 1.
Jeff will probably also board in his other Beast Within. I think just to maximize on answers. The problem is that Jeff needs to quickly find Wormcoil Engine, because he's at 1 life.
I'm surprised Steve didn't just play that land if his opponent has Liliana in play and he has Kasig Wolfrun. Not that it really matters, but...
And flashing back Forbidden Alchemy. Is Jeff going to pull this out to see if there's a Wormcoil in here? Nope, we have a Ratchet Bomb and I think a stack of lands. He's going to keep the Ratchet Bomb. Now, you almost have to put Ratchet Bomb on 2 here, so Strangleroot Geist doesn't kill it. Well, there's a bunch of things. Steven plays Geist Flame, Galvanic Blast, Chandra's Phoenix, Strangleroot Geist. All of which are Hellrider. So all those draws are lethal. And it's, okay, land. Alright. Jeff can pull in this. He's got to find a Wormcoil before Steven finds any of that list of cards we mentioned.
Yeah, and I mean, he also has to... and Selena where else? Gonna get protection from black, but Ratchet Bomb is going to be able to deal with that.
Alright, so buys him a couple more turns, and we have another Forbidden Alchemy.
Yeah.
Jeff might do this. This would be... What a comeback if he pulls this off. He just needs to find the worm. Alright, crack it. Gotta get rid of those elves. And casting Sylvok Replica, right?
That's pretty good.
Is that Sylvok? And Nile Spellbomb, okay.
I mean, he's still at 1, and his opponent is playing Geist Flame, Galvanic Blast, and Brimstone Volley in his deck.
And Strangleroot Geist and Chandra's Phoenix.
Yeah.
All of those...
but that's a land.
All of those, due to Kasig Wolfrun, will be lethal. Okay, still no. And, you know, this is pretty aggravating for Steven, I imagine.
Yes.
Could turn into one of those. Still had all these stories. Ratchet Bomb comes down, making sure Liliana activates. He has enough mana to flash back Forbidden Alchemy. Steven, does he have one yet? And he gets a Red Sun Zenith. Okay, that's the game.
Challenge today at 5 o'clock. We're taking registration here up
Here, Ratcliff, I mean...
Only so many turns that Steven can draw.
$5 if you play in standard today, $10 otherwise.
Only so many.
Fought well that game, though.
Yeah.
Almost got back in it.
Remember, there's only 11 minutes left in the round. Players are going to have to go a little quick here, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. Looking at the top tables, right now we have Brandon Downs, who played Red-Green Aggro. He's playing the Grook's Companion build, currently at 6-0, 1 win from top 8.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah.
Well done, Brandon Downs.
The Bill Lee's match is also finished. We're still awaiting the result on that one, but we'll let you know as we know. Among other names we have in the X1 bracket, so we were looking through it, we have Caleb Durward, Brandon Nelson, Kyle Stoll, Ken Burrell, and Ryan O'Connor, all at X1.
Yeah. Excited about seeing some of them play. Hopefully they do well.
Yeah. I know that, yeah. Some people, it's fun when he plays. People walk by and kind of flash their results at us, which is pretty neat. I believe Kyle's already won his match. So those guys all trying to get, we'll probably have to go, maybe be able to draw around 9, maybe not, depending on how things shake down. It looks like there will be, at the end of round 7, there will be 2 players who will be undefeated. They'll almost certainly double draw in. And the 2
They can even draw loss.
They can even draw loss. So what'll likely happen is they'll draw round 8. So okay, standings math here, because what'll likely happen when you have 2 undefeateds is that they'll draw once, then they'll both get paired down because they can't play a second time. The guys they play against will almost certainly be able to draw in, and they'll occupy the first 4 spots. You'll have anywhere from tables 3 through 6 to playing, so 4 play-ins, all the way down to 0 play-ins.
I think the top 8 may just end up being set after this many rounds with that number of players. It obviously depends on draws and things like that happen on the Swiss, but the number, it was 279?
279. And there's
high.
a almost non-existent draw bracket. We have currently we have a bunch of XOs, we have no XO1s, we have a handful, we have 8 X11s. But those people, likely what will happen in this sort of tournament is that their breakers will take a beating as they go, and will almost, usually are all but maybe we have 2 of them who possibly are still live, and the rest of them are usually all not actually live at this point. All right, game 3. On the play we have Jeff Hoogland with his Glissa control deck. We're a pretty big fan, I would say. I like his deck a lot.
I like his deck a lot.
Copperline Gorge into birds.
All right, let's see what we find here. And it's a Despise. It's a Huntmaster of the Fells. He sees a hand of Red Sun Zenith, Green Sun Zenith, and lands. Not a very good hand for Steve. He does have a Strangler Geist for turn 2, in the form of Green Sun Zenith, but...
All right, so that's what we'll see. Jeff's basically knows what he has to deal with. It's like the mission has been set. All right, he's gonna get out. He's gonna Zenith for a Strangler Geist.
Very reasonable.
So is this an Is there an alternate art Strangler Geist, or are these alters?
It's alternate art. It's the promo from. It was from some event.
It was like some game day promo or something.
It may have been.
I'm sure people will tweet at us what they're
please
from.
Tell us where we got these.
Yes, they're cool, but we don't know where they're from.
Yeah.
All right, Ratchet Bomb made. That's pretty. I like that. It's gonna be good. He probably won't crack it on the birds. Remember before we were saying if he doesn't have any other answer to Sword of Feast and Famine, I really think you bring it to 3 here. Provided the rest of your hand can deal with threats, I have no problem. I just don't want to get sorted and lose.
You lose too hard.
And Huntmaster anyway. Which, all right. So now when we're talking about before the play around that, they are game day promo. Thank you very much. We have a
Jeff can simply pass the turn here, and then his Ratchet Bomb can kill both the Huntmaster and the Wolf token.
Correct.
Very nice. But he takes it up. Maybe he has Black Sun Zenith already?
That would be pretty nice. Black Sun Zenith for 2 would. I would support that play here. Remember, if you Black Sun Zenith for 2, I had a rules question which I wanted to talk about, just for some players back at home. The Strangler Geist will not come back, even though it has a +1/+1 counter on it. What happens is that When he gets both the negating of +1s and -1s together, that's a state-based effect, as is a creature with 0 power dying, 0 toughness dying. So both of them happen simultaneously, and the creature actually dies before, like, as it checks as it loses the counters. So it still has a +1/+1 counter on it when that happens. So you end up not getting the Geist back. But remember when it first came out, that was a pretty relevant question for people. So Ratchet Bomb goes up to 2, but Steven makes a Batterskull.
Yeah, and Jeff, I mean, used a removal spell, a Go for the Throat, on that Huntmaster when he could have 2-for-1 the Huntmaster and the Wolf token.
So Buried Ruin here. And Garruk Relentless will come down.
Good afternoon,
this is just a kill spell, I'm pretty sure. Or no, it's okay, it's gonna make a wolf.
Those of you unaware, the
I don't know, but
Expo is
making a
currently
wolf
being
there
held in
seems.
Boston, Massachusetts this weekend.
We can.
Wizards of the Coast is doing a
I don't
Magic
know.
Gathering themed Q&A.
It's,
I really like.
sort of
You could. He had the option of
paper
eating
mask
birds
sword.
or
There's
eating
a
the
lot of
wolf.
interesting information on the internet now about that. You can check MTG Salvation or Twitter for it. But the one piece of information we'd like to share with you right now is that Wizards of the Coast has confirmed the fall 2012 expansion set will be a return to Ravnica.
Okay. Big. He's made a large
So
announcement.
y'all are having a good
We'll get to it. We'll wait till the end of the match. Wait till the
Okay.
match. You have to. We'll contain our excitement here.
Yeah.
We have a pretty big announcement. If you haven't already heard it,
Oh my gosh.
you may have already heard it over the loudspeaker, but we're not going to talk about it yet.
The Team GP
It's
is...
going to be very good. The Team GP, you have you should buy your tickets now. There's even more reasons. Other than the fact that there's a Team GP, it's going to be really good. All right, Steven swinging with the Batterskull. So he ends up just making a chump block there. So second Batterskull into play for Steven. Jeff's going to need some sort of answer here. He's going to Buried Ruin back his Ratchet Bomb and recast.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's fine. He's going to get both the Germ tokens
The wolf.
and a wolf. So he actually has managed to keep his Garruk Relentless alive. So maybe,
I mean-
he's showing us up. All right.
Yeah,
I like that play a lot.
Pretty good.
Attention players, if registered for
attack, but
competitive draft
Bird-
number 1,
Bird will pick up
your
the
event is
Batterskull.
ready to go. Please come see your
And the
judges
4/5
for the
lifelink
Beep, beep.
flyer.
stage. Players in competitive draft
excellent.
number 1, your event's ready to
He's
begin.
gonna have to
Please
find a
come
way to
see your
answer these.
judges
I mean,
stage.
play a Ratchet Bomb and tick it up to 5. That's not a real answer. Birds gets eaten by Liliana. Wolf swings in, brings Steven down to the low life total of 28. One card left for Jeff Hoogland. Once he can answer the Ratchet, if he can answer both these Batterskulls, I think he's home free.
Yeah.
Land from Steven
Get a
Ratcliffe.
Ratchet Bomb up to 5.
I think Steven has a Red Sun Zenith, which I would burn up at the Liliana right now. Oh, it's Chandra's Phoenix, much worse for Hoogland. Phoenix will get the Liliana.
Phoenix will also pick up Batterskull next turn.
Yeah, this seems pretty
And it
good.
flies.
Good for Steven Ratcliffe. Hoogland swings in. Puts
Steven
Steven
down
to 22. 26. Not 22. Sorry.
Yeah, 28 last
20.
turn. Some number higher than 25.
All right, Steven just gonna continue to play the board. It's gonna challenge Jeff to beat what's on the board, which is gonna be pretty hard for him. Swing 7 in the air, Vigilant. All right, it's gonna get a Go for the Throat. Steven just had to. The problem was with this equipment. Jeff seems pretty weak to equipment. Both games we've seen Steven resolve a very relevant piece of equipment, and then kind of play. Then suddenly every spell becomes a must kill. And despite the way the Pilgrim, there is still a Red Sun Zenith, which remember will get Chandra's Phoenix back.
Yep. So here Steven can just tap out.
Zenith for 2, play Phoenix Swing.
I mean, I just like Zenith for...
Yeah, 2, right?
Yeah, I guess that's definitely the best way to do it.
Which I actually would make that play. I think I like that play if I'm Steven right now. Essentially just rebuying your Phoenix. Or even Zenith for 5, play Phoenix next turn is pretty good.
It's not bad.
And he's going to Brimstone Volley Jeff down to 8. Returning Chandra's Phoenix. He's also returned Batterskull.
Pretty good.
Okay, so then he puts him to 8, and then to 6. And then
he has Zenith in hand.
Okay, that's
So,
excellent.
yeah.
He's one land from that just being lethal on the spot.
So here he just goes like Phoenix attack.
Play Llanowar Elves. Play Batterskull.
Okay.
Okay. And I mean, all roads lead to all roads seem to lead to victory here. So I don't fault the play.
Yeah.
It's pretty safe.
He missed out on one turn, but I mean, it doesn't really
He
matter.
has a lifelinker in play. Like, that's great.
Yeah. So Jeff Hoogland about to pick up his first loss here with this exciting Gliss of the Trader deck. Hopefully
Hopefully you
we
can
get deck tech for this deck at some point this weekend for you guys.
I think it's definitely the most innovative thing we've seen this weekend.
Yes.
So Steven sets prepped to move to 6-0. Brandon Downs also at 6-0. Okay, if I told you being in a deck there's going to be at least 4 undefeated decks, what if you said at least 2 would be red-green aggro?
No.
So, maybe we're seeing, like I said,
Yeah.
Delver's the king, but, not the best king.
It's not Clawblade.
I remember there's sometimes decks hold up to the scrutiny and sometimes they don't. Remember like Cobblade or Jund, or even like Fairies, where, everyone said they would beat it, but they didn't. But I remember there's similar times, remember like when Black-White Tokens was the deck to beat. I remember there was one States where Black-White Tokens everyone thought was the best deck, and then everyone came to beat it, and then everyone did. And so this is our test. We'll see which of those, is Delver a Black-White Tokens or is it a Cobblade, Can it actually withstand everyone going at it? Because I think certainly would say there was no lack of good players piloting Delver at this tournament.
Oh, definitely not. I mean,
Every named player I talked to, or like, player you'd be like, oh, I don't want to play against this guy. Everyone I've talked to like that, they're all on Delver. With the exception of Brandon Nelson, who audibled off it at the last second.
Of the Standard Open.
Switch to red-green.
Yeah.
Extension
Must know something we don't.
Please call for a judge.
All right, we actually were discussing that in the car toward here. We were saying, everyone was on.
Why did he not attack with that?
With which?
The Batterskull that he used to, the Batterskull Wolf.
So is Jeff seems to be getting back into this.
Well, I mean, it's just because Steve gave him that extra turn and then he drew Batterskull. And then, but Jeff just didn't attack with the 6/6 lifelinker when his opponent only had 5 points of power on the board.
So Steven can still eat the wolf. If he throws a second Batterskull on the germ, he can just eat the wolf. Our known life totals are high enough. Sorry, our life totals a little slow. That's not true. Okay, so we're at a feast and famine. Now here comes the other trump card. That's very strong.
Yes.
Jeff, really, the equipment is just really being brutal. Germ attacks for 6. It has
6.
protection.
Gonna make Jeff discard a card, untap all his lands, and then that's gonna let him equip the other Batterskull to something.
Well, if Steven has a land, Jeff is dead here. He still has the Zenith in his hand, correct?
Correct. So it's 6,
yeah.
8. Yeah.
All right, discards a Black Sun Zenith. Does he have the land? He does not appear to. Counting, he's 1 short. That should still be okay. He's going to put the other Batterskull on the germ instead. All in. Because it has protection from those 2 colors, I don't see how Jeff deals with this. Jeff's at 8 currently. Perilous Mirror, okay.
Hey.
That's a blocker. The Red Sun Zenith actually will take care of, yeah. And then there comes the concession. Steven Ratcliff piloting red-green aggro defeats Jeff Hoogland 2 games to 1. Jeff with a really awesome game 1, but turns out